From the Samsung Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSPTV and the Standard Speaker.
Responders spend the day searching the lake at Beltsville for a man who apparently fell out of a boat early this morning. The water search at Beltsville, our top story on News 13 for this Monday. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kathy Bazinski. State and local dive teams are searching for the body of a man who fell out of his boat at Beltsville Lake this morning and didn't come back above the water. There are some dangerous conditions under the surface of that lake, and as Matthew Petrillo tells us, the rescue effort is bringing volunteers from all over, including Luzerne and Schuylkill counties.
It was daybreak this morning when some fishermen at the Beltsville Lake discovered an empty boat.
They reported that it was just not operating in a normal fashion and seemed like something was wrong, and then they did not see a person.
So the fishermen called emergency officials, says Mark Nalensnik, who has been leading a diving operation all day at the lake.
Multiple mutual aid dive, search and rescue and dive companies were called in from the surrounding areas.
Some rescuers came from the Luzerne County Sheriff's Office and West End in Mahanoy City. They say saving lives brings them together.
Well, we train together, we take classes together, and an operation like this, everybody's pretty much on the same page as far as divers. We know each other, we dive together, so it works out well for us.
The lake is about 100 feet deep in some parts, and visibility under the water is just 10 feet. That poses some major problems to divers.
Anytime that they go under the water, it's always danger. You have a lot of hidden obstructions, poor visibility.
Now, about 100 rescuers have been on the scene since early this morning, most of them volunteers, but emergency officials say this whole scenario could have been averted. That's because they found a life vest on his boat, and they say if he had been wearing it, they would have found him hours ago.
Everyone that went on a waterway would wear a personal flotation device. It would possibly eliminate the need to have these kinds of incidents.
As of airtime, crews are still determining whether this is a rescue or recovery effort. They have yet to find the missing man and are not releasing his name. The search will stop at dusk tonight and continue Tuesday morning. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Beltsville State Park.
Well, police weren't saying much, but plenty of activity in one Hazleton neighborhood this afternoon. Police were called to this home on West 1st Street just around 12:45 today. When News 13 arrived on the scene, many police officers were staged outside the home. Some were holding up shields. Police say they were on scene to assist EMS with an ill person. That patient was taken to Hazleton General Hospital without incident. Police are looking for a man who exposed himself to a young girl last night in Hazel Township. The 14-year-old was walking up steps near the wood line of the parking lot by Hawk Mountain Laboratory in Hazel Township just at about 5 o'clock yesterday when she heard the man whisper to her. That's when the man exposed himself and was possibly touching himself in front of her. The girl ran for help. Police are now on the lookout for that suspect.
Young 14-year-old girl called and reported that she was in this area and there was a larger, short, heavy-set male, possibly Hispanic or white, that exposed himself to her in the bushes here. That's the reason why we're over here now. We're scouring the area, beefing up patrols, stepping up patrols in the area in an attempt to find this individual.
Again, the man is described as white or Hispanic, overweight with short dark hair. Troopers ask anybody with information to contact them at the number you see on your screen. Well, it's a way to teach youngsters respect for the law and cultivate future members of law enforcement. It's time for Camp Cadet, and Christina Papa spent today with some of the new recruits.
A 10 hut. While their friends are sitting at home, these youngsters are sprinting their way to a better future.
They learn teamwork, discipline, respect, military courtesy, how to march, how to salute, all that kind of stuff.
Kids from all across the state are marching their way through a week of Camp Cadet at Penn State Hazleton for a chance to learn what it's like to be a real cadet in the State Police Academy. But it doesn't come without a little sweat.
We tell them to do something, they have to do it, and there's no talking back or anything like that. And a lot of children today aren't used to that.
I talk back at home, so my mom put me here also to show me how to respect people.
Learning respect, it's a big part of training boot camp here at Camp Cadet.
She said that they were going to yell in my face, but I was prepared for it, and I knew they weren't going to yell in my face because I was going to listen.
But some of the cadets aren't quite as ready as Mackenzie.
These platoons have been marching all day, and it's really not as easy as it looks.
It's all about teamwork, and you can't march as a unit without teamwork.
By the time the week's over, the cadets should have an entirely new outlook on taking out the trash for mom and dad.
At home, I don't do physical punishments. My mom just tells me to go to my room, but here, push-ups and stuff, help you build your muscles, it'll help you out.
The cadets will be able to take part in a forensic investigation, diving expedition, and rock climbing by the end of the week.
As much as they're probably hating life right now, by the end of the week, they're going to be extremely proud of themselves, and they should be, because it really isn't an easy week. So it's nice to see that transformation from the first day to the last day.
The state police will proudly hand out awards to their accomplished cadets on Friday. Christina Papa, News 13, West Hazelton.
Well, tomorrow it's take two for the Hazelton Area School District primary election in 2 local counties. It's all the result of a mistake by the Luzerne County Election Bureau in the primary ballot. Nobody in Luzerne County realized that the Hazelton Area School District includes precincts in both Carbon and Schuylkill counties. Then School Director Steve Hahn dropped out of the election, but Luzerne County never notified the other counties that he should be taken off the ballot. He was listed on Election Day and received votes that otherwise could have gone to different candidates. The Luzerne County courts eventually ruled that the precincts in Carbon and Schuylkill counties must have a revote, and that's tomorrow. Schuylkill County will open 5 polling places, 2 in McAdoo and 1 in East Union Township, North Union, and Klein Township. In Carbon County, 2 polls will be open, 1 in Beaver Meadows and 1 in Banks Township. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. Luzerne County will cover the cost of that revote. And still ahead on News 13, temperatures are out of the 90s, but still plenty of humidity and chances of showers. We'll tell you all about it in News 13 weather. But first, a chance to inspire the inner artist in young children. We'll show you a very special art project when News 13 continues. It's the perfect combination of art and nature, and it captivated some young aspiring artists over the weekend. Stephanie Gorney shows us a very special painting project this weekend at Neskapek State Park.
The summer season brings warm weather, sunshine, and of course, a long break for students from school. Summer vacation, however, means that some children may stay inside playing video games rather than enjoying the outdoors. One local artist, however, hopes to change that and get children involved in nature and all that it has to offer.
And the idea is really threefold. Get kids out, get them interested in nature, get them interested in art, and get them interested in their own backyards. Take a look at how this area is, how beautiful it can be, and by doing something, create a sense that this is a special place and this is a place that needs to be protected.
John thought what better way to get children to notice nature than by having them paint a mural featuring the Sugarloaf Mountain during a workshop Sunday at Neskapek State Park.
This is a depiction of Sugarloaf Mountain, but this is from an area called 5 Points, which is on the west side of Sugarloaf. And I'm trying to convey the sense of beauty and of a place that people might not even take notice of.
The mural originally started as a sketch, but by the time the small painters finished, they had created a masterpiece. Neskapek was thrilled to be able to host this event and give the kids a creative way to learn about nature.
Nature is a wonderful way to educate about many things, many disciplines across the science spectrum, as well as the art field, and using nature to instill a basic appreciation of art is a wonderful way to get kids excited about the arts and sciences as well.
This workshop was the first part of a 2-part program. On August 31st, children ages 10 and up are invited to come back and create some special art of something that they find in the park. It is unknown right now where the finished mural will be hung, but the children hope that it is placed somewhere where many people can enjoy it. Stephanie Gorney, News 13, Drums.
What a terrific project. Well, time now for our regional weather from the National Weather Service. And checking the radar, plenty of opportunities for some pop-up showers and thunderstorms, and you can see them moving through right now. They're going to continue this way pretty much through the evening, so keep an eye out for them. Our creative condition is a hot sunny day, and it's a perfect time for a drive, and that's what's happening here. It's by Anyeli Tejeda, a student at West Hazelton Elementary Middle School, and Anyeli says, it's a sunny hot day and I am driving. Maybe a little bit young for that right now. Let's take a look at News 13 weather from the National Weather Service for Greater Hazleton for tonight. Scattered showers and thunderstorms like we have right now, low around 67 degrees. And for Tuesday, mostly cloudy with showers likely, possibly a thunderstorm, high up to 79. Chance of showers and thunderstorms at night once again with a low around 62. And heading to Schuylkill County tonight, showers and thunderstorms. Some of the storms could produce some heavy rain, low around 67. And for Tuesday, mostly cloudy with afternoon showers and thunderstorms, high near 81. Those showers and thunderstorms continuing into the evening with a low around 65 degrees. A major rock guitar virtuoso paid a visit to downtown Hazleton over the weekend. Those flying metal riffs are courtesy of Michelangelo Badio, who, among other honors, was voted as the #1 metal guitar shredder of all times by Guitar One magazine and is consistently listed among the best and fastest guitar players of all time. This weekend, he was in Hazleton putting on a guitar clinic at Portanova's Music. It made for one searing afternoon of heavy metal.
I just did a clinic for Dean Guitars. I'm a guitarist, and it was an amazing time. We had a great crowd, and we did a guitar giveaway, and it was amazing. Jesse's here, the owner of the store, and I can't say enough about it. You know, it was hot outside, but it was cool inside, rocking.
Certainly was rocking. For more information on the Dean guitars that Michelangelo was shredding on, drop by Portanova Music on Juniper Street in Hazleton. And let's check out the winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you played. The Daily 511, Big 4 6363, Quinto 62976, and the Treasure Hunt 7 14 18 20 30. Hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news for tonight. Happy 38th birthday to Barbara Nehe. This comes from Mom, Denise, Linda, Jimmy, John, Fran, Chris Jr., and Riley. Also tonight, happy 50th anniversary to Tom and Monica. This wish comes from your family and friends in Drums and Beaver Meadows. Happy 24th anniversary to Mr. and Mrs. Dominic Petruzzi, and this wish comes from your family and friends. Tonight's Talk of the Town report. As part of the Valley Day and Night festivities, the 3rd annual Valley Day Grade 8 and 5K races will be held Saturday, August 3rd at 8:30. For more information about the race or Valley Day festivities, please call 570-233-4023. And finally, once again, it's time to round up the Wildcats and gather them for the annual reunion of all alumni, teachers, and anyone who attended the former West Hazleton High School. This year's roundup will be held August 24th at the Nescapec Township Fire Hall. There's a $21 charge for the buffet, and registration is required. For more information, please call 570-788-2515. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. William H. Faust, Sr. of Drums. Services will be held Tuesday at 1 p.m. at the St. John's Lutheran and UCC Cemetery. The Cropton Hughes Funeral Home assisted the family with the arrangements. Elizabeth J. Kepper of Drums. Services will be announced by the Lehman Family Funeral Service. Mark S. Book of Whitehaven. Memorial is July 30th at 5:30 p.m. in the Whitehaven United Methodist Church. Friends may call from 4 to 5:30. The Cropton Hughes Funeral Home assisted the family. Christopher Michael Saul of Beaufort, South Carolina. Services will be held Saturday in Ambler. Teresa A. Ravina, formerly of Freeland. Arrangements will be announced by the McNulty Funeral Home. And Robert M. Demansky of Drums. Funeral is Wednesday at 9 a.m. from the John V. Morris Family Funeral Home. Friends may call Tuesday from 5 to 8 p.m. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazleton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111. And by Doves of White, serving Schuylkill and surrounding counties, call 570-205-1597.
SSPTV Sports on News 13 with Fred Barletta Jr. and Ron Marchetti.
Well, even though Valley West had a lot of teams win the District 18 tournament, it's the 9-10 team that's still alive and kicking. And even though they got thrown into the elimination bracket, well, they came battling back, and they're sitting in a pretty good position to come back and still have a championship run in the section tournament. Let's take a look and fill you in. Now, over the weekend, they won 2 out of 3. They got in the loser bracket when they lost to Council Rock Northampton, but they bounced back with a nice win over Penridge, and that gave them another shot at, now in the loser bracket, Council Rock Northampton. Well, they certainly avenged the big loss. They came back and doubled them up last night. The final in this one, Valley West wins 8-4. and that sets up Game 2 of the best-of-3 series tonight, and we'll see what they can do, how the pitching matches up, and how they'll do against Council Rock Northampton. Now, of course, this is on the road, so the Valley kids got to really show up and play well. We'll wait and see. Well, as we keep saying, the most famous alumnus of Valley West Little Leagues, Russ Kanzler. Kanzler, for the first time since his trade to the Pittsburgh Pirate AAA club, went 0-4. He was 0-for-4 last night. His Indianapolis team won 2-1 over the Gwinnett Braves, but over the weekend, he had a pretty good go of things, and the average still hovering very much respectable at the 277 mark. We'll see what happens, and as we said, interestingly enough, they have him playing third base. He hasn't done that in some time, so not sure what the Pirates are up to right there. The Rail Riders, well, no A-Rod, and they get beat 4-1 by the Louisville Bats, and the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs edged Columbus 2-1. There's your schedule in the International League. Of course, Alex Rodriguez, he was time up with the Rail Riders anyway, but he has a grade 1 strain of his hamstring, so he's out indefinitely, about going up to the Yankees, and that just gets crazier and crazier. We'll wait and see. Don't forget, we also have the performance-enhancing drug thing hanging over him. We'll see how it all plays out. Well, despite all the really hot temperatures, Mother Nature provided some really nice weather this weekend for those who participated in an Olympic distance triathlon. The Hazleton YMYWCA held their annual Anthracite Triathlon on Sunday, where people swam, biked, and ran. They did it to raise money for various youth programs that the Y provides. Now, many of the participants have been training for months and swam a total of 0.9 miles, then biked for 24 and ran for 10K. I'm getting tired just talking about that. Now, in addition to the triathlon, the YMCA also held a youth splash and dash on Saturday for younger participants. Organizers of the race were excited to see how many people turned out and hope that people will continue to come out for more races that are planned in the future.
Just yesterday was our youth splash and dash. It was a great event. We had over 30 youth. The youth splash and dash is the first race in a youth race series. We have 3 more events that are 1-mile runs at the Run for Gold, at the Penn State race, 5K, and at Seasons Change. And we have the Beware of Barracuda Youth Triathlon in August.
Over the weekend, as it always is, a lot of action down at Mountain Speedway, down in St. John's, and Brian DeFebo, he, for the 9th time this year, won the modified 30-lap race. Kyle Harville won the late model, and in the Street Socks, it was Paul Morgan Jr. getting the checkered flag. Big day for Chip Wanamaker. For the first time ever, he wins the 30-lap stock race, and the opposite end of the spectrum, you have Scott Adams, who for the 10th time this year crossed the line first. Needed that this week despite heavy damage in his heat race and starting in last place, but that's why he's one of the best drivers down at Mountain Speedway. Tonight's sports is brought to you by Mountain Speedway. Here's a look at this weekend's action. It's going to be busy. The racing will begin at 6, so plenty of action this Saturday. Grandstand admission only $10. Kids 10 and under are free. And if you're an active military or a student, even senior discount, $2 off the price of admission. There's the website and the phone numbers. You could call them and get all the information on the excitement of racing down at Mountain Speedway.
This is Trivia Treats on the day after the British Open Golf Tournament, which was won by Phil Mickelson. 2 in a row for Phil. Hi, everybody. On this July 22nd, the Dodgers captain would have been 95 today, Pee Wee Reese. On this day, 50 years ago in 1963, Sonny Liston blasted Floyd Patterson into a knockout defeat in just 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the first round of their heavyweight championship fight at the Las Vegas Convention Hall. Patterson and Liston had met 10 months earlier at Comiskey Park in Chicago when Patterson was defending his title. Liston knocked him out then too, also early. In the rematch, Liston knocked Patterson down 3 times before the bout was stopped. That happened 50 years ago tonight. 11 years ago today, in 2002, on his 29th birthday, Red Sox shortstop Nomar Garcia-Parra hit 3 home runs, 2 in 1 inning, during a 22-4 bashing of the then Devil Rays at Fenway Park. On that day, Garcia-Parra set a major league record for most homers in consecutive innings with 3. He drove in 8 runs while also tying another big league mark for most home runs in consecutive games with 5 because of the previous day. Nomar homered twice during a 9-8 loss to the Yankees in New York. 30 years ago tomorrow, in 1983, the memorable Pine Tar game took place at Yankee Stadium. How could we ever forget that one? Royals third baseman George Brett hit an apparent 2-run homer off Goose Gotches to give Kansas City a 5-4 lead with 2 outs in the 9th inning. However, Yankee manager Billy Martin protested to the home plate umpire that Brett's bat exceeded the 18 inches above the knob, which is allowed in the rules. Umpire Tim McClellan called Brett out, giving New York a 4-3 victory. Mother of God, Brett went nuts and charged out of the dugout. Who could forget that if he wasn't stopped by his teammates, he may have ended up in jail. So the Yankees won that game. However, 4 days after that game was played, American League President Lee MacPhail overruled McClellan and Brett's home run stood, giving the Royals a 5-4 lead. But that game was not completed until August 18th from the point of the dispute. And the Royals did get that 5-4 win before a crowd of only 1,245. Till Friday, be a good sport. Stay loose.
And plenty more news and information headed your way on News 13. The latest on that search for a man in a local lake. That story and much more news when the 13 crew comes right back.